darker side of semen retention. It's a lot of good, but it's some bad too. I mean, for sure. And you just got to expect it. And you got to just know that this comes with a lot of difficulty. It wouldn't come easy. All the good things that come with it, it's not going to come easy. Like, you're fooling yourself if you ever thought that it was just going to be easy. But because the good things that come along with this are almost unbelievable. They're almost unbelievable. You know, the universe really starts to work in your favor in all sorts of ways, and it changes you fundamentally as a person, as a man. I could I've gone into in other videos all the benefits, or maybe not all the benefits even. Maybe I need to make another video about more benefits. But I touched on a lot. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are days, man. There are days when you're doing this where you're just, it kills. It kills. I was just at the gym earlier, and I do my very best. My very best. I got my headphones on, I'm working out. I'm just in my zone. I'm not looking at anybody else, right? I do a good job of just keeping my head down, working through my stuff. I try to get out there, get in and get out within like 40-45 minutes. I keep it quick. I'm not wasting time. But my goodness, man. These women nowadays are just nuts. And all it takes is just you just look once, and it's just when you're on semen retention and you look once, that's all it takes, man. That's all it takes. You just look once and you're just ignited inside. Just full. You're just, it's just nuts. Gone are the days of, looking at women more than once or twice, like I remember, when I wasn't doing this, I could look at women like just constantly like look at women, and you didn't get it wasn't overwhelming. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't overwhelming. I could look, and it's like I wanted to look a lot more. I'd be notice guys in the gym, and they're just looking at these girls just like constantly takes. I'm just like, how can y'all do that? If I was looking at them that much, my goodness, I just have to go to the bathroom and just rub one out, because it is so overwhelmingly powerful. When this substance, when the semen builds inside of you, when you haven't released, I'm going to say it gets harder, but it gets easier in certain ways. You have this is basically what it is. You're going to have bad days. You're just going to have bad days where it's testing you. The tests are coming. It's the universe testing you. It wants to see, are you really about this? Are you really about this life? Are you really this guy? Can you really do this? Because almost nobody can do this. Nobody's doing this. Nobody does this, man. Nobody does this like long term. Sure, there are dudes that can do it for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, or maybe they do it. Professional athletes can do it for a time, or fighters can do it leading up to a fight, but nobody's doing it like, I've been trying this for like 11 months. And yeah, it's not a full unbroken streak of 11 months. I'm at like 56 days or 56 days, something like that right now. Streak. Currently on the PR. And today was one of those days, man. Today is one of those days. I mean, I got in my car, I left the gym, and I just got in my car, and I was just like, help. Help me. Help me. I just sat there. I even had to work out harder. I was on the treadmill, and normally I'll just go, at like a comfortable pace. I had to just up it to like 9 and just on the speed and just like basically almost sprint for like 3/4 of a mile because I just couldn't stand it. But I mean, you have days like this. You have days where you're literally just like, it's like you're just, you know, you're doing everything to hold it back. You're doing everything. It's literally just like tearing a hole through you. It just wants to come out. You know what I mean? And then the crazy thing is when you sort of get through these times, it's like you become stronger in some way. Like now for a week or 2 weeks, there's a lull, like you're unbothered again. Like you can get through. It's like you achieve something. It's like achievement unlocked, or you just leveled up in a way and you have more. Now you have even more self, like on the, it's like in a video game character, like now on like the self-restraint and self-discipline bars, for like stats, it's like higher, you've upped like 5 points on those things because you were tested and you passed the test, you know. But when it's test time, when it's time to take the test, nobody likes test time, you know. Nobody likes to take the test. I mean, you gotta, there's just no way around it, you know. Um, and it's pass fail, it's pass fail, it's clear cut. You either pass it or you do not. There is no like, oh, you got a pretty decent. No. Either you suck, you didn't pass, or you passed. You're good. But yeah, you're also gonna have days. I wanted to mention this. You're also gonna have days. You're gonna notice that semen retention brings out, because you've never actually done this in most of our lives, most men. I mean, we've just never done this. We've never experienced life in a way where we weren't releasing our semen like almost every day or every other day, or at least on a weekly basis. I mean, for guys, it's often way more frequent than that. And a lot of guys look at porn nowadays, so it's like it's even worse because not only are you horny, but you have all these images in your mind of all the things that you've seen over the years. And these things are very powerful. I mean, these things are extreme. They're meant to just, they just grab. They're meant to stimulate you to peak. I mean, you can't get more than that unless this stuff is like actually in the room with you. Unless porn is like literally, unless all these women doing all this stuff is like, unless you're actually doing it in real life. Okay, well then it's like cloud nine. But so you're dealing with that stuff, and because we've never actually lived life, we've never actually experienced life, dealing with these super powerful urges and getting them under control and trying to master our desires, trying to have control over your own desires, because you've never done that. It's just, you're going to have a lot of stuff come up, you know. There's going to be a lot of things that come up. You're starting to be more masculine, and with that comes a lot of things. I mean, there are just going to be days, when you have abundance of masculine energy within you, there are going to be days where you just feel almost out of control. I mean, you're going to feel um, the emotions heavy. I mean, you're going to feel at times you're going to get very angry, just very angry. I've had moments like that where I'm just like, I'm furious, and almost for no reason, just like little things will just get to you, you know, and you get annoyed. But you're sharp. It comes with good and bad. Like, it's because you're sharper. It's because you're operating on a higher frequency, a higher level, and so everybody else is sort of like laziness and lullness and just like low level average ways of just going through life. It just pisses you off. It's just like, get out of my way. Well, you're stupid. You're doing something stupid. You're thinking stupid. Like, you're not it. Get out. Move. You know. You're gonna have to watch yourself in traffic. I'm pretty good at dealing with driving and traffic and stuff. I've never actually had an issue with it. Um, but I mean, during this, there will be sometimes where I literally, like, I have a driving job, and so there will just be times where I'm just like, and there will be times where your mood is just really bad. Like, you'll feel, because you're not getting the dopamine, you're not getting all the feel good chemicals flooding your system every day. You cut all that off, it's gone. You don't have none of that. You're not working on none of that. It's just raw. Like, you're in the pit of, like, you got no external stimulation. And if you're cutting out nicotine, if you're cutting out caffeine, if you're cutting out alcohol, if you're cutting out, other things, eating bad or whatever, then it's going to be times 2, times 5, times 10. So there's going to be this huge lack of these neurotransmitters because your body is so used to getting external sources that it doesn't produce its own, and you don't really have a lot of energy, like core energy. You'll feel that at times. You'll feel at times like you just, most of the time, you're going to feel like you have more energy. Most of the time, you're going to feel like going, 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 going. Like I've said before, like it's a lot. That's why I have to make these videos, because there's just too much energy in me. Like, I had to find something to do. I can't just like do nothing anymore. I have to do something with this, or it'll just, I mean, this thing will just, like, it feels like it's just gonna, it, it'll come out in the darker ways, which I don't want it to do. Um, you're gonna have more energy, but there will be times, days, where you actually feel like crap. You're gonna feel like crap because it's like your body it wants like a dose, it wants a hit of, you know, masturbation or porn or, whatever. It wants it so bad. And when you're not giving it to it, it really struggles. And you can have days where you just feel like, just all moody and just not yourself, tired, unmotivated. It's dark. It can get dark. You can feel angry. You can feel depressed. You can just feel, and a lot of what you feel, where you're going to feel when you're on this, when you're doing semen retention, is you feel the weight of your life circumstance. That's what really gets to you, is you're you're finally starting to interact with the reality of your current situation. You can't run from it anymore. You're no longer running from it. You're turning and you're engaging with it. And that's tough because you're realizing that you ain't where you want to be. I mean, there's a lot around you that's just like you start to see it and you're just like, how? Like how was this what I was just accepting and just passing my days? Like how was I just going through the motions for so long, just being fine with this? It starts to make you really angry. It starts to really make you angry because you're just like, you feel like you wasted a lot of time. You feel like you wasted a lot of years, uh, doing these lower things, that were stealing your energy, stealing literally your masculine energy, your creative energy, this powerful energy within you to get things done in the world that incentivizes you. If you keep it in, it literally incentivizes you to get things done because it's like, hey, you need sex. We're not getting it. Okay, we're not doing enough. We got to be better. We're balls are saying, yo, we're full of shit, dog. What's going on? We got to make some things happen. Says that to the brain. The brain's like, all right. But you start to know, like, because of that, now your brain is actually noticing, like, things ain't so good. Things ain't so good. Why are we not better? You know, that starts to really get to you. You really feel the weight of it. You really feel the weight of it. And it's tough. It's tough. These days are tough, man. This ain't no joke. Semen retention ain't no joke. It's not. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. Every day is a struggle. Every day is a battle, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, like everything. You're working through a lot of things and you're engaging with a lot of things that you just were numbing with just ejaculating, porn and temporary pleasures. And even if it was like with women a lot, you can do it with women too. I mean, if you're having sex with women a lot, whether you have a girlfriend or you just like, you have like friends with benefits or whatever, something that you just hit from time to time, that coming in a woman it's better because you're actually, doing something successful in life. Like you are actually successful in the mating pool in life. You're actually having real sex. So you're doing something right. But it is still a drain on your energy. You're giving your energy away, for like a temporary pleasure to a woman. And so you're giving away that energy and you can't use that towards, bettering yourself, furthering yourself. When you hold this in, even if you feel like you're an energetic person and you're doing well in life, I mean, if you help, maybe you're young and you still just have yet to feel the effects later down the line. Eventually, you're going to feel stagnant. You're going to feel like you lack energy. You're going to feel like sort of you're bumping up against like some resistance, some wall that you can't break through. But even if you feel you have a lot of energy and you're young and you're doing well, retaining this energy can only benefit you even more. Um, you'll be on turbo. It's like hitting the turbo button. You just you're just that much faster, that much quicker, that much more intelligent. You're just operating on a higher frequency, higher level than all everybody around you. And the longer you do this, you just get better. It's like the longer you do it, it's like I would say most of like the darkness comes within like the first, I don't even know, because I'm talking like in an unbroken streak. I don't know, because 56 is the longest that I've had, and I would say that there's some real crap within that time period that you have to get through. Uh, but it's a lot of good. It's a lot of good. You're gonna have a lot of good days, a lot of good benefits. You're just gonna be so much more natural, so much more organic, so much more just naturally masculine. Um, you're not gonna feel as self-conscious. I noticed that in myself. My self-conscious sort of state has significantly diminished. Significantly. It's almost like I don't even recognize really how much I used to like think self-consciously and worry about, what other people were thinking of me and all this stuff. That used to dominate a lot more of my thought processes than it does now. And that's just one benefit. There's countless, but the good does not come without the bad. And this is definitely a path less taken. I mean, almost no men are doing this, so um, you can expect that you will stand out. If 99% of people aren't doing something, if it's too hard for most people, it probably tells you if you can do it, I mean, you're really going to stand out amongst everybody. And you do start to recognize that. But it doesn't come without severe sacrifice. I mean, obviously. Obvious, you know? I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough. You literally feel like the angel and demon like going at war within you, you know? It's like you want to do it, but you don't at the same time. When you're thinking about, okay, I just want to rub one out, I just want to look at some porn, whatever, or I just want to have sex with a girl, I just want to call her up, I just want to text her, get her over, you know. And it's like you want to do it, but then literally you got something else just being like, no, no, what are you doing? You've gotten this far. You got all these benefits, like even in the face of so many benefits. That's what's crazy. It's like you're literally witnessing all these things, how it's benefiting you. All these things, all these transformations, all this leveling up you're getting, the universe is literally just bestowing all these blessings upon you and making you better, through, it's like forging the iron, getting it hot, but you got to endure the pain of the heat, that heat, and the banging and the sparks. It doesn't come without, a lot of violent things. And, it doesn't come without that. But it's all, you gotta take it one day at a time, one moment at a time. One day at a time, one moment. I like to do one moment at a time. Because really, I think like the key to success on this, a lot of what's out there says that you need to find other things to do, which is true. It's good to have things to do throughout the day that you can channel this energy into. That's for sure. I agree with that. But I think what's even more crucial is you actually do have to engage with being alone with these thoughts. And you have to get through it when you're alone. Because eventually those times will come and you're going to have to face the storm anyway, alone. There won't be anything to do. You just might be very tired that day and there just isn't anything to do, or all the things that you would want to do, somehow it's just not working out. The universe has put you alone with nothing but time on your hands, in absolute privacy, in comfort, in warmth, with a little phone next to you, or some girl's next to you, or she's hitting you up, or You can just text her, she sends you something risque on Snapchat or whatever. You know, you're gonna have to face it eventually. You have to get intimate with the feeling of these lustful thoughts. There's no other way around it. You actually do have to engage with it and learn how to just let it be. You know, you can't indulge in these thoughts, but don't resist them too much either. There can be almost no emotional reaction to these thoughts when they kind of come up, because you'll notice that they just come up. You'll actually notice the energy field of them. You'll notice the energy quality before they even come up. I'll feel the energy. It's like an excitement in my stomach. And then it starts to like brew. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be a lustful thought. And I literally you just breathe, and then it doesn't actually come to fruition in your mind. There's no image that comes up. But I know that it could have. You know what I mean? You start to get very quick. You get quicker and quicker at, like, stopping it at the source, getting it before it, you know, becomes a big old thing. Because most of the times you don't even recognize that your lustful thoughts are kind of just taking a life of their own. You don't even recognize that you'll be sitting there and, like, for 5 seconds you lose focus. For 5-10 seconds you just lose focus and you just get caught up in your mind. And all of a sudden, not only did the energy come up, but now there's a whole lustful thought and lustful thoughts on lustful thoughts. And you're thinking of all these things that you've seen and all these, things that you've done, or, whatever. And, you just let it all happen. And then it becomes, you've indulged it for a certain time now. You've indulged it for 5-10 seconds. It becomes harder to sort of let it go because it's brewed into something bigger. It started to have more energy. It has more power within it. Your mind is giving it more attention. You've indulged in it more, so it's giving it more oomph. You know, Whereas if you start to do this continuously, obviously I don't think this is really possible without relapses along the way. You are going to relapse and it's fine. You just have to keep your head down and keep going. After every relapse, you just have to reset and just keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Can't get unmotivated, can't get discouraged, can't get unmotivated. But you are going to have to, engage at a certain point with these thoughts and the feelings and the sort of energy quality of these thoughts themselves. There's really no way around that. I don't think. You can't just distract yourself, because eventually the day will come where you can't distract yourself, and then you better have it. You better have the real sort of strength. And if you don't, then obviously you'll relapse, and which is fine. But you're just gonna have to learn that lesson a harder way. Distractions are good, or not necessarily distractions, but just channeling, just productive things to do, channeling your energy in other ways. You'll notice that this just kind of happens organically. You don't really have to, go out of your way to do these things. But also very important, you need to get very intimate, very, very intimate, very comfortable, very familiar with how these thoughts and urges come up in your consciousness, how they come up in your mind, and how they feel in your body, the sensations that you get in your body with them, that come with them. You have to get very, very skilled at noticing, at observing, being in tune, in touch with this. I think that's very key to being successful on semen retention. So, yeah, but it's all worth it though. Hard days, tough days ahead, but a lot of good days too. And nothing good ever came without struggle. Nothing worth it, really worth it, ever comes easy, cheap. No. Everything really worth it at the end of the day. Everything that lasts, that's that's truly special comes with a lot of work, a lot of struggle. Just got to accept it. All right, that's the video.